Okay, so for this first tutorial, I'd like to invite you to the world of social learning tasks. So what is social learning? Why social learning is interesting, why social learning is complicated. Wait a sec. Oh, yeah. So yeah, here the tutorial goal is, I'd like to invite you to this world of social learning, and also to understand complicated issues related to social learning. We'd like to start from the very basic decision-making program, which is called multi-arm bandit task. And then start from that, I'd like to introduce some tweaks on this bandit task to capture some aspects of social learning or collective behavior. So to build up how we can model those social learning programs in the more formal or computational modeling way. And then finally, I'd like to also do some interesting interactive demo with all of you. Okay, so first of all, as Kameda-sensei said, collective behavior is not happening only in humans, right? But there are a bunch of range of species, biological systems that shows this collective patterns, collective behavior through individual interactions and learning strategies, right? And then of course there are also like a human societies shows a range of collective behavior. And then here we define collective behavior as not only just like a mass movement or pedestrian collective movement, but also we'd like to see our cultural evolutionary patterns, how knowledge or cultural tools and technologies are shared among populations and accumulated over time. That is also a collective behavioral phenomenon. So here, like humans, especially known as very good at cumulative collective culture evolution. So we'd like to capture this mechanism behind through computational modeling. So yeah, it seems to be seemingly very complicated, messy world collective behavior is. But I think one good angle we can start from would be that noticing that a range of many decision-making programs could be seen as a choice between multiple options. So for example, this ant species, Temnothrax, I guess, they are house hunting ant. So when unfortunately their nest is broken, they're forced to move to the new nest. And so this is the kind of experimental task built by Takao Sasaki. And so, for example, like that's the nest of the ant, and they are kind of looking for a new nest. And then so by showing this task, we can study collective decision making by a kind of format of discrete choice task. In this case, there are two options, and then we can study how they make decisions collectively, how they reach consensus, how they can find better options among the other wide range of options through learning or social learning, communications. In this case, they use tandem running mechanisms that can spread the information through population. Yeah, not only ants. This is Lucy's previous work. It's my favorite animal experiment. So this is again. So this is a great tit bars foraging task, but she implements this again binary choice foraging task to study how behavioral repertoire is spreading among this great tit population. So yeah, so that's the decision task. But yeah, you can see how you can easily extend that paradigm to collective. So these bars are watching each other to learn the behavior socially. right? So yeah, there are a bunch of experimental works or theoretical works that are built on these types of discrete decision-making tasks. And then, so these are, roughly speaking, categorized as a kind of multi-arm bandit. So multi-arm bandit could be like a sort of kind of gambling or slot machine. So task, if you are a gambler at the casino and there are two or multiple slot machine options in front of you, but you have no idea which option is good, right? But and then also your budget is limited normally, so you have to you can't explore entire slot machines in the casino. You have to balance between like searching for a seemingly good one and also exploiting the seemingly good one. So this balancing exploration and exploitation is key here. And then I think that's true for many range of animal behavior programs. So yeah, the bandit task in a nutshell, it's the key feature is that reward from the option behavior is unknown up until you actually choose that behavior. So you have to actually commit to the action to get some information. So that's the key feature. And because of that, even if you want to maximize your overall reward, then as I said, you have to think about, okay, is it like worth choosing this option right now, or is it worth exploring this unknown option? So this balance is key. Yeah, so this is kind of information collecting program. So usually a bandit task has some noisy payoff. So which means even though you choose one single behavior option repeatedly, you might encounter slightly different payoffs over time due to various reasons like environmental noise, or simply like other noisiness of the environment, or simply due to some cognitive or perceptual uncertainty as well. So what you learn might be noisy. So that's why you probably want to collect data multiple times to make your knowledge more clear. So that's another key point. Yeah, and then easily you can think of more multi-arm bandit, more than two options, right? So you can think about 10-arm bandits or 30-arm bandits. So you can easily like extend that paradigm to more complicated tasks. So now, yeah, so that's my, yeah, so this two-arm bandit can be easily, so two-arm bandit task could be a very easy peasy toy model. But thanks to this easiness, we can start from that, and then we can tweak this feature to capture a little bit more complicated social learning programs. So here, Charlie and me kind of like to propose three key interesting dimensions related to social learning programs. So one is environmental complexity, then social complexity, and then cognitive complexity. So by tweaking either of these three dimensions, this seemingly overly simple bandit task can become a little bit more complicated version, and could be interesting for the social learning questions. So let me briefly walk through each dimensions, what types of tweaks might be interesting, or what types of models has already been studied in the past to inspire you to like your future directions, hopefully. So first, okay, let me start from environmental complexity. So, two-arm bandit as an environment is overly simple, right? Two-arm bandit means just two options in the world, but it's impossible in the reality, right? You have bunch of vast, wide space of possible behavior actions, options. And also, sometimes your behavior options or behavioral repertoires might be related to each other in the way that some behavior options are similar to others than the other options. So we can then think about this type of situation as correlated options, or in this case, spatially correlated bandit. But it's not necessarily like actually correlated in a real space. But we can think about this as more like conceptually related options. So they are also could be mapped onto this kind of correlated spatial space, right? So now we can like this spatially correlated bandit task. Each the option sets are shown as a grid, and each grid cells represent each different options. But the options, nearby options tend to be similar, and distant options could be totally different. So you can then guide your exploration by this fact that they might be correlated, right? So once you know, for example, got some payoff from there, and then you can expect some like a similar payoff, probably also there around nearby that cell. So yeah, this this is one possibility. Another kind of environmental complexity would be introducing some more deep-rating reward. This is very common feature in foraging situations, especially because usually food is limited. If you go to the food patch and consume some food, and then it's gone to your stomach. So which means reward might be decreasing over time as you consuming them. So this kind of deep-rating feature then could also connect to the classic foraging theory. So then the problem arises, the when to leave the patch, which patch is worth visiting, and also in the social context. This is also like a Charlie did. So then it's a social foraging problem arise. You might want to join the patch that others found, but there might be already consumed a lot, so you might avoid those. So you have to think about this socially dependent payoff, dynamical payoff structure. And you can even go further, more complicated ones, like not only the payoff being socially dynamic, but also the payoff itself could be dynamic for many other reasons. And then you can think about how then we or animal group can keep track the environmental change by chasing the changing environment. So, and then there's also some previous experimental or theoretical works studying what kind of social learning or in general learning mechanism can make them possible to keep track, and then under what circumstances groups fail to keep track this environmental changing. So yeah, that's the possible environmental complexity dimension, and you can of course think about many other complication in the environment. Okay, let's move on to next dimension, which is social complexity. So yeah, here again, this is the spatially correlated bandit task. But here in this paper, this is a paper written by Alex Witt. And then, so here so they built on the spatially correlated bandit task, and then to introduce social correlation as well. So here, the social complexity is that it's not like most of the social learning tasks assume that agents or individuals share the same goals or same payoff landscape, payoff functions. But here, we got interested in what if they have some like different taste a little bit. So they have slightly different payoff structures. Is it still worth copying others? Social learning, is social learning possibly backfiring sometimes? So to capture such social correlation structure, we can also assume that each panel, like each 2D grids are representing payoff structure for each different individual. And then we can assign them a slightly different but still positively correlated structure to them. So then we can then ask, what kind of balance is best? So of course it's not identical. So the others are not identical to you. So it's not a good idea to just copy others. But probably there might be some way to wisely use social info still. So yeah, we can, yeah. So in this study, we are kind of interested in this type of social diversity in these payoff structures. Other a type of social complexity would come from the social network structures. So again, I would say many of the classic social learning models or social learning studies tend to assume the fully connected network where all agents, all individuals can see all other group members. But in reality, of course, you can usually access to the others who are connected to you somehow. So which means usually the social information transmission is happening on the social connection, social network. And then there are a bunch of studies also studying what kind of how this network structures impact the resulting collective behavior. So for example, Michael Cimento, Damian Lucy's paper. So they are interested in studying about how cultural evolution, like a cumulative cultural evolutionary pattern would be formed or impacted by the assumed structure of the network. And also like the paper above is also studying these social network structures. And then roughly the findings, agreed finding is suggests that the efficiency of the information transmission might play a key role. So roughly speaking, when network is too efficient, where like information is traveling very quickly over the group members, then group behavior probably would also has some risk to show kind of hard behavior, like Kameto Sensei's talk. Whereas like when social connection is too sparse, then which means it goes back down to the just pure individual learning because no one connected no one, so there's no benefit from social learning. So there's some like in between, like an intermediate level of connectivity and inefficiency of network that can promote both benefit of social learning and also reducing some risk of kind of harding phenomena. And then these kind of pattern is showing up in various contexts, from collective decision making to culture evolution context. And also, the Lucia studies then also depending on the social connections, probably like individual level behavior might also change, reacting to what kind of network structure you are embedded or what kind of connection you're seeing. Human, in this case, it's a human study, but human could flexibly tune your reliance on social learning according to the network structure you're seeing. So and then finally, we have to. So when you study social collective behavior, probably like we have to think about some incentives probably might be not aligning for all agents. So yeah, again, this is a classic social foraging theory. As I said, in a social foraging situations, people might have kind of shared motivation where, okay, if anyone else explore this dangerous, seemingly dangerous environment and then find the food patch, I'd be just happy to just follow that person and then just join it later, because it's cost-free, like a cheap, and it's less dangerous. But if everyone thinks the same way, in this way, then it's kind of a social dilemma. Okay, who go to the dangerous world and then find the patch. So then it forms the kind of game theoretic dynamics. And then so we have to think about this fitness or payoff that is depending on the social status or others' behavior. Yeah, and then also so that's the classic social foraging task experiment done in bird species. But of course, there are a bunch of study done in humans as well. So that's also me and Kameda sensei's and also Kim Herring's work. So where we study how humans react to this social foraging situation, and how then what kind of division of labor emerging through this social incentive dynamics. So speaking of the incentives, in collective decision making, we can also think about the difference between consensus making and combined decision making. So as Kameda sensei said, for the consensus decision making, where individual needs to reach a consensus to make a choice. In this case, there might be interesting case where if each individual is agree upon, okay, we should reach a consensus. But if agents has different opinions or preferences, and there's some conflict. So in this case, it's interesting conflict between overall group level goal, that is to reach a consensus to make a decision together, versus each individual level slightly different motivations and preferences. So these conflicts might form the interesting, complicated outcome at the collective level. Yeah, so that's the Shinsuke's previous work above, studying these dynamics using fMRI scanning for one person. And the bottom is so Charlie's and Dominic Defner's work. So where also agent. So it's a kind of virtual reality game where it's also social foraging kind of task. But so they could also control this level of incentive, and then to see how human collective behavior change by this incentive structures. Okay, so that's for I have been mostly talking about kind of very simple forms of social learning that is kind of copying others' behavior, right? Simply like you observe others performing some behavior and you observe that. So you simply like, oh, maybe it's a good idea. I just also want to copy that and I do that. So that's kind of simple form of social learning, is just only a tiny part of the range of different social learning strategies. So evolutionary biologists have proposed a wide range of social learning strategies. Yeah, I'm afraid that's a too small figure to read for you, but yeah, this kind of tree shows the totally different social learning strategies. Something like just simplest one from simplest one, like copying randomly, right? Just copying other agents randomly, to more nuanced one, like copy when uncertain, like Kameda sensei's talk, or so copy the majority, or kind of consensus, no, conformity bias social learning. But also you can think of prestigious biased social learning, where like you want to copy more prestigious person. And yeah, and also like some other content bias, like you probably might want to copy in some specific like a context, but some like also you might want to reproduce some specific stories in a folktale, for example, and then this like, or maybe urban legend. You might have some favorite story in urban legend, and then this you tend to talk to other people. So this content bias might also be a kind of play a role. So this, yeah, then as I said, this whole range of social learning strategies might require different levels of cognitive processes or perceptual cognitive decision-making processes involved. So yeah, then so here, like, so this is why we think cognitive complexity would be also a key dimension here. So yeah, of course, interesting. The simplest one could be a imitation or local stimulus enhancement mechanisms. Simply like your tendency to copy others is enhanced by like simply the fact that you're interacting with that agent, that other people more. So you have higher chance that you share the same environment, same stimuli. So you have higher chance to learn the same thing. Ending up, you'd perform mostly the similar behavior. So that's this kind of enhancement process. It could be seen as a very basic stimulus response, kind of classic reinforcement learning. From there, yeah, probably in humans mostly, but I guess other non-human animals like primates, great apes might be perform this kind of theory of mind type of social inference. So some form of social learning probably might be benefiting from this theory of mind social inference abilities. And then humans are very well known that we have very strong tendency to, show this theory of mind tendency. So yeah, this is the kind of classic cognitive science psychology experiment. So you're just watching the video, like that is showing just moving abstract objects, right? So it's nothing, it's just moving objects. But you can like easily kind of see some social interaction among these abstract triangles and circles, right? So this triangle is mean, and then this black, yeah, and then this colored circle is hiding from this mean triangle, and oh no, he's entering the door. Yeah, so that's well, I think only from this video there are various possible explanation of, and then it's not necessarily evidence of theory of mind, but this obviously like indicates we have some like propensity to easily interpret things as a kind of social context. And then this kind of ability is already here in the very early like infant. So this video bottom is a study from Kanakogi. They show that this kind of theory of mind social inference abilities are already here shown by the babies. Yeah. I forget how old they are in this study, but like a newborn to like few months to up to like 2 to 3 years infants still already show this ability very well. Yeah, and then further complicated issue or interesting problem is that, okay, we have this social inference abilities through minds, and then we can also use that kind of social inference to, when you teach things to someone, when you tell story to someone else. So this is, again, especially like vivid in human culture evolution context, where it's said to be that teaching is one of the very key driver of cumulative culture evolution in human societies. So then, teaching is especially like social inference is very, very important skill for human teaching. Yeah, so this video, it's working. So this video shows that Kartik's paper showing this, the storytelling could be seen as a inverse. Oh yeah, it's working. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's working. Oh, yeah, inverse planning. So yeah. So yeah, I think Kartik will be talking about this in his tutorial later. But yeah, basically like what you see is so basically like you have to like communicate other people using like a very deep social inference skill that could be seen as as if you're kind of reverse engineer the other's mind through the assumed computation, right? So that's and then so these the various behavioral experimental study evidence that people actually really use this reverse engineering during the various range of communication situations or teaching situations. So it's really key to think about this social inference in human social dynamics, I guess. So yeah, it's not so I've shown these 3 dimensions, but of course these dimensions are not totally independent. We can actually combine these, or actually the example I've shown so far is already like combination of multiple dimensions, I guess. But yeah, here are some more vivid example showing like this combination very well. For example, this is like these like a fish school modeling study and also human. Also, these are 2 modeling study, but like culture evolution in the bottom and fish school dynamics in the above. They are both showing how group of agents, group of individuals deal with the changing environment, with also the social network structure being also changing over time. So especially like a fish school, like social network could be detected by the kind of because fish cannot see everything, right? So they can only see the surrounding other individuals. So you can, especially in the simulation, you can detect, okay, this focal agent at the moment is only be able to see this and this and this agent, so which means that social network is connected to this. So like this, so you can then reconstruct this social learning, social network structure from this the data, and then analyze the effect of network structure on the behavior. Yeah, and also yeah, social and cognitive complexity could be easily interacting. Yeah, for example, yeah. Oh no, sorry, it's yeah. So this is like a kind of famous YouTube video showing that. So these are interaction between chimpanzee mother and son. So basically, like this mom. Oh, at the moment, this son is using some stone tool to open some nut or something, and then interpretation is that like a mother might want to use this stone tool. So that what mother did is that she asked him to scratch her like back, and then the son went onto her back and start scratching the mother. So such a kind son. And then during this using this occasion, mother simply like steal this stone tool from the sun and then just start using this stone tool. Again, so this video only it could be not be evidence of kind of deception behavior or dishonest kind of behavior from the chimpanzees, but one interpretation is this, and yeah, there's also a bunch of evidence showing that this strategic behavior and then also strategic behavior could involve this kind of reverse engineering of others' mind. So this could be an interesting avenue, I guess. Oh yeah, I finally started. But yeah. Yeah, and also, yeah, again, so this is theory of the mind. Also, yeah, so this is again like a similar to the chimpanzees example. Human as well, we are also usually like often use this social inference ability to play with others, like in a game theoretic situation as well. So it's highly so game theory is seemingly a kind of economic interaction that is like you have like a payoff matrix, and there's kind of Nash equilibrium or like multiple evolutionarily stable states. But in fact, in a real world, there's no rational agent, and then payoff matrix is also usually not known. So the massive like inference skills and like a calculation of others' minds or strategic planning is all like key to understand actual game dynamics. So these cognitive science studies also have tackled these complicated issues. Okay, so finally then, yeah, so further complicated, to everything together, put everything together, cumulative culture evolution is probably like crystallizing those complicated advanced issues, because in the cumulative culture evolution means that environment is changing over time, because the technologies accumulated, and then technology accumulated means the new technology might change the payoff structure of the environment, or the game changing, basically like a new technology changed the game, and then you have to think about like a social learning, innovative innovation, and also like a teaching, what kind of efficient teaching is necessary to further pushing up the more complicated technology. So probably like in this AI, LLM time, probably we have to think about like what kind of cognitive ability or human side is important, or key, and how we can also interact with these new technologies to predict or understand and predict the future human cumulative culture. Right. So yeah, I think I'm in a good time. So that's the or the kind of example, like a showcasing. I've just quickly showcased the kind of possible the range of social learning questions and phenomena so far. So the next is simply like we're gonna do some interactive demo. But before that, I'm happy to take any questions so far, or any other like thoughts you might want to add to those dimensions or anything.
Have you missed anything? This
yeah.
This taxonomy.
Yeah. Yeah. Lucy?
Your problem mostly focusing on social learning.
So
focused on complexity of social learning itself, complexity. But of course, the task itself can be cognitively complex.
Mm-hmm.
Would you see that as a form of environmental complexity or a form of cognitive complexity?
Oh yeah, right. That's good. Yeah. Thanks. So yeah, I think that's a great point. So here, the cognitive complexity, we only mean that to the social dimension, like as a as a social learning task, there are different levels of social learning strategies that requires different levels of cognitive complexity. But as you said, yeah, environmental, or probably like any, like both environmental or social complexity could require the different levels of cognitive complexity. So in this, yeah, sense, I think complicated tasks usually require more complicated computation in general.
Maybe I can jump in here. So I think the complexity of the task, we try to really put into the environmental part. Of course, like the complexity of the task could be because of the way that people interact to one another, right? And that's, I guess, kind of more the social component. And then the cognitive part is maybe more about the mind of the individual trying to model, who's then integrating all the social information and trying to navigate the environment, right? So I guess that's how we try to separate things. But of course, this is a messy. The real world is much messier for this, but I think this at least helps us to organize some of these conventions in a more systematic way.
Yeah.
Thank you for the amazing talk. I have a question kind of building on that. So a lot of times when we think about social learning from a psychological perspective, we're looking at individuals or dyads interacting and learning from each other. But there's also like studying on like ants and these species that they can do very complicated problem solving using socially coordinated behavior. So would you consider that as a social learning, and in what sense they are? So like each ants never figure out how to solve the complete task, but they form some kind of strategies locally to do that. And just in general, how to think about those phenomena in the framework of social learning.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, totally. Like ants and honeybees are, yeah, my favorite example of social learning. And of course, they have totally different computations in the individual level. Of course, like ants or honeybees, I don't think they like do any, probably like a functional level. They could perform similar things in some context, but the actual mechanistic computation inside could be different. But still, I think we can study emergent property at the collective level and how this collective level behavior is driven by individual behavior could be captured by right level of abstraction of computational model. For example, these ant species are known to perform, so to say, kind of linear copying. Which means, so they are, so as a mechanism level, they are known to use tandem running recruitment system. So if you're an ant, and if you find a nice food patch, and then you return to the nest, and then you recruit other naive ant, and then, oh, I found a nice patch, so you should go, and then just recruit one agent. This mechanism, as a result in the kind of functionally very similar to kind of random copying strategy in general. So this could form the kind of feedback, positive feedback loop at the collective level, where like as if you just copy, like a naive agent just copy other agent. So that's as a dynamical modeling level, they would produce the kind of very similar, qualitatively similar behavior. So, so in this sense, we can actually study a range of animal social learning behavior in this kind of unified view.
Can we say that, like, for ants, they can make up for the lower level of cognitive complexity by increasing the social complexity to meet demands of an environment?
Could be, yeah. For example, like this is not this ant, but some ants, for example, use a pheromone trail, for example. So it's actually like outsourcing some computation to this pheromone chemical. So this pheromone trail is evaporating over time. So this can be function as a kind of forgetting function. So ant itself is not needs to forget anything, but simply like the pheromone forget thing. So that's a kind of nice way to outsource computation. And then, yeah.
Any other questions? Thanks, and again, it's, as Lucy said, I think it's a really interesting and nice way of putting it. One thing that struck me is that, kind of potentially interesting feedback, between collectives and, cognitive complexity, because, with individuals in a group, for example, have different, capacities, for example, to extract energy from the environment, which can be the, tied to their cognition, also their dominance, things like that. Then they may have, you showed the marginal value theorem at one point, and they may have then different optimas. And so what is optimal for the group is not necessarily the same as what's optimal for each group. But there's actually some interesting dynamics for some time where actually what is on average the best for everyone is still should be to do what's optimal for the group. But yeah, we haven't kind of explored that. But I think this sort of the differences, for example, among group members and what's optimal for each individual. You talked a bit about the sort of feedback of individuals. Something that's it's quite nice.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah, that's a good point. I think, yeah, so this, I think individual like heterogeneity in many ways, like, yeah, the abilities or physiological states are different. Also, the goals might be different. And then this individual heterogeneity could be a really key in this, I think, social complexity dimension as well. Yeah, totally.
And in the later tutorials, we'll kind of experiment a bit with some demos of agents extracting.
Cool.
Should we move
Yeah.
on to the first demo?
Yeah. So yeah, I'd like to. So yeah, in this 10 minutes. So I have like a kind of very easy peasy bandit game. So basically, like a cover story is that you're like let's say you're a fisherman, fisherwoman, fisher person, going to the ocean. So your goal is simply maximize your catch of the day, right? So you want to have large catch as much as possible. And then, so basically, like you can control your avatar. So this is your like a fishing boat, and you can just click any grid cell. That grid cell represents different region of ocean or sea, and then you can just click it, and then your fishing boat just goes to that, and then get some fish reward. The one note is that although this is kind of looking like a spatially correlated bandit, but it's not spatially correlated bandit, right? So it's in this case, it's a very simple 4x4 16 arm bandit. Each option is not correlated each other. Simply like, okay. So to play the task, so first we play kind of individual learning task. So you play it individually, and I can show you how to play the game. So if you go to the Cosmos website, yeah, so this is our beautiful Cosmos website, and then you can go to course materials. You can choose the icon for the left-hand side, and the course materials. There's a code notebook 1 in the top of that. Just click it, and yeah, maybe I change the color for the sake of visibility now. Yeah. So we have basically like this code notebook. You can revisit anytime later, and then it has a bunch of codes for bandit tasks. So R code. So you can see like how you can generate the simple bandit task using R, and you can play around. And then so please scroll it down a bit, and then you can find this individual learning experiment.
You can also use the bookmarks on the left, right? So the table of contents on the left. So live.
Oh yeah, live demo and individual learning.
So please kind of take a few minutes to just do the individual learning tasks.
Yeah.
And we'll follow this up with the social competitive.
Yeah. Just click it, and then you will see this type. I don't want to spoil your experiment, so hide it for now. You have 10 trials. Sorry, I forgot to say. If you are kind of unsatisfied with your results, you can also play it again to kind of maximize your performance.
Maybe just 6 little, I think people can have the server, so maybe the results.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Scroll.
To see the results. Cool. Okay, yeah. If you're done with all 10 trials, you can scroll it down the final screen, and then you can see your result like this. Yeah, so I didn't touch anything, so my performance is not very good. But yeah, you can probably you can see some learning curve here. This is your individual learning performance. So it's not that very interesting, but yeah, that's the baseline performance, I'd say. So yeah, let's move on to social learning task. So, okay. So yeah, so in this task, it's social learning task. We have to a little bit synchronize because there's a waiting lobby for 30-second time window, and then if everyone is in this 30-second time window, everyone is in the same group. If you are, it's too late, you'll be playing alone.
Should we try to break it up into like 3 or 4 groups then?
This automatically, I think, probably maximum group size would be set to 20 or something.
Okay, so we could just get everyone to go in at once and then they'll all
Yeah.
be put in different groups?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So more or less now, click the link and you'll be put into random.
Yeah. Let's go to the yeah. 1, 2, go. Right. So I guess probably you're seeing this waiting room lobby, and I'm hiding this screen for.
You might be releasing like a template for this type of waiting room. Was that the post up from yesterday?
No, he's not. Yeah, he's a technician. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
So at the moment, everyone needs to decide. Oh yeah.
You want to check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hope there's no bug, but 2 days ago I've changed a bit for the bug fixation, and probably some group got stuck. Oh my God. Okay, there are some people playing, but some people get stuck. Oh yeah. Charlie, is this still not working? Oh yeah.
I think it's.
Oh yeah.
For people who are stuck, maybe it's just the server load. But you were kind of probably in the middle or near the end of.
Near the, yeah.
Finding the spot.
Oh, cool. So yeah, at a spot. Oh yeah. Why not? Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, that's great. Yeah, look, it's.
Oh, that's weird. So probably it's a weird bug.
the break fix
Mhm.
across the group between,
Yeah, I think
it's the same.
the same environment. Yeah. You guys still, or some group is still playing? Yeah, maybe I can show
And
that.
the ranking is the higher the better, right?
Higher the better.
Yeah. So
Oh,
we
cool.
found- Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we found.
So that's my group. I think yeah. So yeah, is there anyone like who performed better in social than individual learning? Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe think about kind of what dynamics happened here, right? Like, did you need to converge
Yeah.
suboptimally first? Was there a wisdom or madness of crowds here, right? Did we get Jacko or did we get hyped in the situation here?
Yeah. Is any group like got stuck in like not the best one, like suboptimal in the end?
What's this one maybe?
So here, just as you know, like the ranking choices, the higher the number, so 16 is the highest,
Yeah.
right? So that's the best option across all of the options. So in this plot, you see for the results at the end, right? Here, like, so the red line is you, the gray are others. I think the mean of this group looks like it's kind of
Yeah, some
average, right?
average.
But me and Wataru here managed to kind of pick the best, but we were still kind of exploring every once in a while to look at these other where other players were to see whether or not it was good. And
Yeah.
I think that's like
15?
15. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, 15 is be really a good decoy of the good one. Okay.
15 minutes. Let's be the last one now.
Mhm.
People are wrapped up now, right?
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes is to the last.
Yeah. So now,
right.
yeah. So yeah, thanks for the joining this demo. So by the way, so you can, if you're interested, if you can click, you can download the results, and then you can see actually the yeah.
One more, right? Competitive. Yes, right?
But yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah. The question here, we're just going to do one more. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like experiment in the social learning scenario, do individuals. Sorry, I just repeat, the social learning scenario, do individuals actually like know who was doing well or just like blindly falling like a herd?
Mhm.
Kind of.
So here you only see actions, not
Outcome.
outcomes, right? So some social learning situations, you see the outcomes of the behavior, whether or not they succeeded or how good the fish they caught. Here you just see their actions, but that can still be a useful proxy for whether or not a location is good, right? And as I probably saw in the social situation, right? Often the most popular location is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
So we have one more experiment to do, which is throwing a wrench things. This is a competitive situation now, so
Yeah.
you want to explain?
Yeah. In this competitive situation, so I actually haven't debugged this yet, but hopefully it works. But yeah, this competitive situation is more like a more realistic fishing situation where like if multiple fishing boat is in the same area, it's end up like you have to share the amount of catch with those people in the same option, right? This happens in this competitive environment. So yeah, you see the dynamics. Okay, so just click to the competitive social learning experiment again.
Yeah.
Now,
So this one wasn't debugged, the other one's reactive. Sorry, I didn't realize.
yeah, well, it's it should be fine. I haven't really thoroughly.
We haven't changed that much, right? It was just.
Haven't changed that much. Yeah. Maybe that works. Nice. Oh, well done. Oh.
Not my own little niche here.
Oh, yeah.
Put up the results.
Yeah.
This one can say. Someone else. Okay.
Ah, cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So the dynamics in this one were quite a bit different, right? Because as soon as these kind of curves started forming, right, then you're splitting the rewards and you're getting much less. So I think you're really also trying to kind of avoid one another as well as also kind of use social information here. And try to also, I think, kind of turns into a coordination problem, right? Where you want to try to find some stable solution where you're not going to step on each other's toes.
Yeah.
Any other interesting dynamic people observe?
There is like a benefit to going back. Then it really happens. Better than people left.
Yeah. So it's like also that's a good strategy, like just finding your own niche and then just stay with it. And yeah. Any other interesting dynamics? Yeah.
It's not about dynamics, but I kind of got a bit confused because to me, it seemed like the objective was to collect accumulated more fish than finding the best spot for fishing. And the result showed the second one, right?
Yeah.
It's like the objective was to find the best spot for fishing. But I was wondering, what's the different, like, how could things be different? I think especially like exploration here is less costly.
Absolutely, yeah. I should have shown this result in a different way, like rather than, so in this competitive task, it's not like finding the better option itself isn't itself very important. The more important thing is you correct the more fish. So probably I should have changed the y-axis to the actual payoff. Then probably, theoretically speaking, if this is a game theoretic prediction, is that people would end up collecting the similar amount of payoff in the end, because it's a kind of the game theoretic dynamics. But yeah, probably like I need to change this for the future.
Very different experience from the person who said moving fast was a good idea, because I ended up on the best option fairly early. And then I had two people join me, but they both thought it was a really bad option because we got a low payoff on that round. And then I was usually just waiting whether anyone was going to move to mine before I moved away, because I was like, well, this one's nice, but if I have to share it, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But I got very well. Nobody wanted to succeed.
Yeah. That's a good point. Good point.
Cool. So maybe
Cool.
we
Yeah.
wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell people how lunch works.
So yeah, thanks guys for the. Right, so that tutorial 1 is done, and